Hey everyone, this is the next video in the series about inside Spring Boot. So far we have covered all this topic and all the links are given in the description box. Go ahead and check out that. In this video we are going to focus on the class that is the main class from where our application gets started, right? So this line SpringApplication.run. So by now you are aware of this line, right? So you right the main class, if you notice that inside that main method this line is written, right? SpringApplication.run. That's it. And it bootstraps your application, right? So and gives all the default configuration that is needed for your application. So we are going to explore this and see what is the magical things that are happening inside this, right? So let's go ahead and get started. So this Spring application class is coming from this package org spring framework.boot, right? Spring application class, it bootstrap and launch a Spring application from Java main method, right? So these are the few things that it does. In short, it creates application context for the application. It is necessary. Application context is the necessary part, right? So whatever beans are created are contained inside this application context, and then it is doing this registration of the command line property source. So whenever you pass any command line argument, it is considered as Spring property by this registry, right? And then it refreshes the application context if it is needed, and it triggers any command line runner beans. So actually this is the interface that you can implement with the beans that you are creating with your application. What are the scenario that you need this command line runner? I'm going to explain that in the separate video, right? So for now, just think that with any bean that you have registered it, there is run method that needs to be implemented, and that gets triggered when the bean instantiation, bean creation is complete, right? Let me take you to the hello world application and show you this in the Spring library itself, right? So this is the hello world application that I have created from the start.spring.io, usually that we create. So here we have annotation Spring Boot application that is there. So by adding this annotation, add configuration, enable auto configuration, and component scan is being taken care, right? And main thing we are interested here is Spring application, this main method Spring application dot run. It is only single line is written here, right? So and all the magical things happening right here inside this run method using this Spring application, right? So let's open this one, documentation of this Spring application. So it is saying that it bootstrap and launches the Spring application that I have just explained you, right? So it is doing this, creates application context instance. What is this application context? It is a central interface to provide configuration of an application. This is a read only while the application is running. So when your application is started, it is read only, you cannot change this. So but maybe reloaded if implementation supports this, right? So an application context provides all of these features, right? So bin factory methods and its ability to load file resources in a generic fashion, and the ability to publish events and gets registered with the listeners, and if any changes happens, it reloads those application contexts, right? Second thing, command line property source, and then refreshes the application context and triggers any command line runner means that is there, right? So in short, it is doing all of this, right? So now let's get into this run method, get inside this run method and what is happening here, right? So I'm opening this one, implementation of this run method. So it is returning this configurable application context, and here we have primary sources and then args argument if it is it has any, right? Again it is calling another run method. So let me take you there. So inside this, using this primary sources, it is creating the object out of this Spring application. So if I come here, it is again taking the primary sources and again calling this overloaded constructor. And we have resource loader here that is passed as null. Primary sources is mandatory field here. It has to be present there, otherwise it is going to throw an exception. Primary sources, using this primary sources, it has created the initialized this primary source application or primary source property of this Spring application, and then it is deducing the application type, right? So there are different type of web application types. So these are none, servlet, and reactive. right? So when while reducing, it is taking care of the class path, the libraries that you have, right? So we have three types: none, servlet, and reactive. So if servlet specific classes are there in class path, library is in class path, it is going to create the web application of type servlet. And if it is reactive, so it is going to create the web application type reactive. If both are not present there, it is going to create the application type as none, right? So you can also manually override this thing in your from the configuration, as well as from the this hello world application. In a while I'm going to show you that how, right? So this application, it has deduced the web application type, and it is setting the initializer, it is setting the listener, and it is also giving the name of the main application class, right? So it is deducing the main application class from this method. So the result of this main class will be this hello world application, right? So now coming back where we were, from where it is called. So now we have this object, right? So using this object, it is calling this run method from here. So here main things are start. So it is passing all the arguments that we have. It is creating the stopwatch to monitor the time, how much time it will take to start the application, right? So here we have configuration application context, and it is doing all the things, right? So listeners, it is starting the listeners, application arguments, configurable environment, and it is taking care of the banner part here, that it prints when the application is starting. It exception reporter, context, prepare context, refresh context, and after refresh and stopwatch, it is stopping the stopwatch that we started while starting this run method, right? And then it is loading the startup info that is there, and listeners, it is showing that it is started, right? And it is calling the runners that are there. So all of this, how it is doing, it is listeners dot running, it is doing that. If it is any exception, it is going to take care of that inside this handle run failure. Many times it notices any issue while starting the application, it is going to throw this exception, right? So after doing everything, it is going to return this context, right, to your application, right? So this is how your application gets started, right? So this is the default one that you get, right? So there is another way that you can do. You can call the run method directly, and you can do a lot of modification, a lot of configuration right here. So if I remove this one and create the local variable, not this one, so I can create the object out of it and call the run method directly, right? So let me add new Spring application. So now we have to pass this class here, right? And using this app, I can call the method run, passing the args directly, right? So now we have this app, right? So I can do a lot of configuration before calling this run method, right? So app set banner mode. So when you start your application, you see the Spring application, Spring Boot banner, right? So I can configure that here. So banner mode, I can mode dot off. So when I put this one, so it is not going to show me the banner, right? So if I start now, if I start the application now, it is not going to print the banner for me. So this banner thing I'm going to explain in detail in the next video. So for now, just the things that how we can configure this when we have this Spring application app. So what are the things that is Spring application can do, right? So if I show you the, so now our application is running, right? This application is running properly, right? So stop this one, and I'm going to show you set web application type that I was talking about. So here I can pass this web application type. We have none, we have reactive, and we have servlet. So now by default it is servlet. Reactive is there when you have reactive library in your application context, right? So none I can configure, right? So what is the meaning when I put this none? So it is not going to create the it is not going to contain the servlet. So when you have servlet, your application is ready to take the request when you started your application, right? So it can take the request and it can respond, it can continuously running. When we have type none, it is not going to run continuously, right? So whatever you task you gave before exiting out of this, it is going to execute that only, right? So let me show you. When you start this application, see what we have here. It is giving, so directly start this one, right? Okay, so it started. So no specific classes and no context and no nothing is loaded here, right? So it is just started this application and exited quickly. So inside this main method, you can, so when I'm going to explain you Spring Cloud task, it is going to make sense, right? So there are things, so there can be some requirements when you do not need your application to keep running. So in that cases, this is going to helpful, right? So I can also manually make it reactive, but in this case, it expects the reactive library in your application class path. If it is not there, it is going to throw an exception and will come out of the, it will throw an exception, it will not start properly if it is not finding that library there. Yes, it came out of that, right? So by throwing an exception, so this unable to start reactive web server, that is there. So when I give it servlet, it is going to start properly. So by default it is taking the servlet part, right? So if I start this now, it is going to run properly. Yes, it is started properly, right? So starting engine, context loader, thread pool executor, tomcat server, it configured everything now, right? So this is all about this Spring application that I just wanted to introduce. So it is going to help a lot if you're going for the interview and understanding how it is working under the hood, right? So in the next video, I'm going to come up with the next topic that we have, right? So till then, you go ahead and watch other videos on the channel. I'm going to give the links, important videos links in the description box. Go ahead and check out that, right? So I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.